What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Power Down episode. Oh no,
We're
Jedi.
52.
52?
52?
How did you know that?
Because I feel like we hit like 50 right when we were talking to Hector, like the time before. So then Hector would have been 51. I
True.
swear, but
That's
maybe I'm
like
completely wrong.
52 weeks in a year. We've been
Yeah, so
doing the
we're already,
podcast for 3.
look, we're ahead of the Flycast
Yeah, and they've been going about the
number.
same amount of time, actually.
Okay, I lied a lot.
Oh, it's 40.
This is episode 45.
45. Wow. Okay. Nailed it,
My
bro.
bad.
I
Nailed
mean,
it.
you just were like thinking big. I like that. I like
I
that.
was thinking big.
As always, me, Optic Midnight, Jedi, Amanda the Jedi,
Jedi.
we out here. Our
Yeah.
sponsors this week are ourselves.
Ourselves. So G Fuel Energy, code JEDI to save yourself at minimum 10%, but sometimes there's some like sneaky little 30% off days in there that you just might catch with code JEDI.
Cool.
I have a lot. We actually do have a crossover with Control Freak.
Oh, we do. We both have a Control Freak code. Oh my god, we should have like a battle, bro.
We could have a battle. You would win.
Get wrecked. Yeah, I would.
You would totally win.
We
for
should
Control
also
Freak.
we should also have a scuff battle because you can use code Midnight to save yourself money on a scuff controller.
You can use code SOAR. I love the new Optic controller.
Bro,
I love it.
If you guys are watching on video,
I got to play it.
You can see it.
Yeah,
Dude,
I got to play with it.
Yeah, I played with this at Fort Worth, and then they gave it to me, and I was like, "Are you serial?" Because
I wish I could have kept it. Yeah, because like it's so cool. It was so funny though because every time I was playing, they kept coming around and taking pictures and doing little video promos with it. Yeah. And then one time, Hitch was up, and I didn't notice it was Hitch. There was just somebody in between the two monitors with it. So I stopped and I was like smiling. I was going that, and finally I just stopped and I'm like, "Oh my god, it's Hitch!" And then funny. I was like, "Sorry, they just keep coming around," and I'm just kind of like,
"Hi."
Oh my god! But yeah,
that's crazy.
It's a very nice controller. I love it.
Yo,
actually really like the design on it.
Yeah, it's really cool. Fort Worth was a lot of fun. I'm gonna just start off the podcast with some weird shit, dude. Like, Fort Worth was so sick, but I realized that like I don't know if it's. I mean, you know a lot about like how I was feeling around that time, and like I just have I have anxiety in general, and I think like I realized like a couple weeks later I was like, man, that was a really good time. I had a lot of fun. I wish that in the moment I wasn't so anxious all the time about literally everything.
Yeah, I told you that most of it was probably anxiety because anxiety is gonna exacerbate literally every problem that you have.
Yeah, if you guys
every problem that you have.
I've been having some stomach problems. I'm getting tests. I have a doctor's appointment this week. It's all bad. It's not all bad. I think it's just I think I'll be fine, but it's just it's been kind of annoying to deal with, and I think just trying to manage my anxiety because I do have anxiety. Like maybe I played down how much anxiety I had before. I don't know, or maybe I genuinely didn't think I had that much.
Do actually have anxiety worse than you think you do?
Yeah,
just based on my like minor interactions with you IRL. We didn't actually get to talk about this with the Hector podcast because you're focusing on Hector, but actually left me like twice.
Well, I mean, I did. I left you, bro. We were at a movie.
It was fine. I just want to clarify that it's fine, and I'm like a big person and I can handle it. But
I mean, I don't want to talk about it because it's gross. I've been having no problems.
Specifics. I mean, she's just sick, so she got really sick and was like, "I would rather be like puking in my own toilet."
Yeah,
so like,
or just feeling really sick at home.
Yeah, she was just feeling really sick, and like, I don't, you feel that bad, and sometimes you just can't sit in a movie theater. But I just get, she goes to the bathroom, and then I just get a message like 10 minutes later, being like, "Yo, bro, I had to run home and get some medicine," and then it was like. Dog, I ain't coming back.
Bro, I was like
sitting there watching Captain Marvel for like the second time.
For the record, the movie theater is literally like 3 minutes from where I live, and so I was like, "Yo, fine. I don't have any ginger on me. I want to go home and get some ginger." That usually helps me out a little bit. It helps me not feel like I'm dying as much.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I'm like, "Yo, I'll go home. I'm gonna go get my ginger tablets and then like go back to the movie." And then I was like at home, and I was like, "Bet I'm staying home."
Never mind.
I don't feel good. So I think it might be a combination though. Like you're right. Like I was anxious and my stomach was having problems, so I was just like, "I need to leave. I need to go home." So I'm working on it though, like self-realization. 2019 is my year of like self-improvement, improvement, growth, stability,
realization,
feeling good. Yeah, realization, realizing what I need. I can't go into it right now, but I realize like what I need, where I want to be, what's going on, what helps me, Ashley, facilitate her best life.
Yeah,
I want y'all all to live the best life.
We're both doing that. We are literally both trying to fight for our best lives right now. Yeah. And I'm nervous. I'm nervous.
You should be nervous, but not that nervous because you got it like that, dude. You got it like that, dude.
Thanks.
Why
We'll
are we,
figure it out.
man, they're gonna be so annoyed. They're gonna click out. They're like, they're being so vague. Fuck this.
They're vague. Well, like, it's just, I'm trying to do more of what I'm already doing.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm trying to do more of what I'm already doing so that I don't have to do some of what I'm currently doing.
Yeah. That
I
makes
want to
sense
leave the
to me.
YMCA. I just want to leave the YMCA.
She wants to quit her job.
I want to quit my damn job. Like, is that such a hard thing to want? It's
No,
not.
dude, everyone would
You
want
know,
that.
I don't want to wake up 5 o'clock in the morning anymore. I just don't want to.
You
unless
probably
it's my
would
choice.
anyway, you psycho.
No, I don't think I would. I think I had it decided that I would do like 6:30 or 7.
Ooh.
Because then I'm at least taking advantage of still being awake early in the morning.
Yeah.
But not. I just can't adjust to 5 a.m. Everybody's all like, no, if you do it long enough, you'll adjust to it. But I've been doing it now for like a year for this schedule and then like 2 years with like mixed wake ups at like 5 a.m. And I can't get used to it. Like my circadian rhythm will not adjust to waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So
my circadian rhythm will never adjust to waking up that early or at 7. Dude, when you were in high school, when the hell did you need to wake up? Like 6:30?
Yeah, like 6 or 6:30.
Dude, I could not.
I literally got to school sometimes at like, if my mom drove me, because sometimes I didn't want to take the bus, so my mom would drive me and we go through Tim Hortons. I got there at like 7:17 sometimes on the really early days, but you leave you around 7:30. Well, she had to be to work by 8, so like that's when I get dropped off at school.
When did your classes start?
I think like 8:30. I don't really remember anymore, but I was like 8. Yeah, like 8:15 was when like people's like the bells and stuff started like kind of getting people hustled. Yeah, we were definitely like 8:30 because for some reason the French schools started like 30 minutes after us, so they started at like 9 a.m.
Yeah,
and I think it was just so that the buses weren't all on the road at the same time. Because like where I live, there's actually French and English schools.
Damn, wait, there's all French schools?
All French schools, and then there's English schools that have French immersion in it. It's not racist. It's just like if kids literally grow up not knowing English, they can't go to an English school.
True,
like I'm in a bilingual province. I'm in a fully bilingual province. So there's people that are born of parents that literally have never learned to speak English. True, so they go to French schools and then they take English so they can learn it. Whereas like I went to an English school, but I was in French immersion. So all my classes were French except for like gym and art and English, obviously.
Damn.
So like I did science, math, French, obviously, like social studies, everything I did in French.
That's wild. I was thinking like that would be like if they had a Mexican kids school or like, you know, Spanish.
No, the racist thing is that they make you guys they make them a cut like they make you guys they make the Spanish kids go to English school. I'm joking. It's not.
I don't.
If you move from Mexico to the United States, like it's probably because you want your kids to be able to like be part of that culture. Yeah. But Canada was literally split French and English, and then more English people started showing up, and we're basically like sign this fucking treaty to be part of Canada, or like
Yeah, that makes sense. So, like in schools here, they have English as a second language, like courses in the regular schools to help those kids along and figure out both languages.
Yeah, cool. Absolutely. And that's what they have here for like in the French schools and stuff. But some of them really just don't learn English that much.
Yeah.
And some people don't learn French. So,
dude, English it has to be a hard ass language to learn, man.
English is English definitely is because think about how, there's bear right. That's a bear. Bear with me.
Mm-hmm.
There.
Bear skin.
Bear skin.
Like
there's
like if I say, oh, naked. look at her bare skin, like what are they thinking? Are they thinking like exactly. The animal? Are they thinking that she doesn't have any clothes on? Like
so we have a lot of issues where we have words like that overlap.
Yeah.
And they're spelled differently. Sometimes the words are like spelled the same but have different meaning. Dude. So that's fun. English is definitely probably hard. French is hard to learn from like a grammatical standpoint. Any language that has verbs gendered is stupid. So like
true.
Yeah. So that's just dumb.
It's 2019, people. There is no gender
I don't want to know
words.
The difference between whether or not the cat is Beau or Belle. I just, you know what I mean. You know what I mean if I say one or the other. It's a fucking pretty cat.
Wait, so would those be like pronouns then? Like he, she, they? Are you saying that?
Well, no, it's because like the words themselves. You know, in that scene in The Office when Michael is trying to learn Spanish because I think Spanish works the same way, and he's just putting like the dicks and the boobs on everything. That's exactly like that. So it's like this bottle is une bouteille is like that was horrible French, by the way. But it's gendered. So the way you would refer to it would be either un or une.
What? Bottles don't have a gender? Quit trying to gender.
Yeah, but they do. In French and Spanish and whatever other languages do that. gendered grammatical standpoints. It's weird. So it's like,
That's wild.
yeah,
I
yeah.
I took
So
like a
like
half a trimester of Spanish. That's a lie.
have a trimester?
No.
Y'all have trimesters in
Yeah.
school?
Well, we did, and I think now they use semesters. But yeah,
I was gonna
trimester.
say that just
I
makes me
think it
think of
was like.
pregnancy.
I think it was like 4. No, yeah, it was. Is a
Imagining
trimester
midnight in the
longer? I don't
no,
know. But
because
fuck,
it's a
now I don't
third.
remember,
It's a
man.
third.
Yeah.
Semester semi, split in two. Tri would be 3.
Oh yeah, yeah. So they're like it's like more classes basically. I don't know.
It's a length of time. Like a semester is like for us, we do semesters. So semester 1 would be like September to December if it's like in university, September to December, and then semester 2 would be January to May.
Yeah.
But if you're in high school, it's like September to January and then February to June.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, bro. I was just talking about like high school the other day,
Yeah.
and how like I would never want to go back, even now. Like even as like I feel like I don't want to say like a successful individual, but like an individual who's put a lot of effort into something, right?
Yeah.
I feel good about myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Going back just sounds like a terrible thing. I don't want to go back there. Unless I'm gonna go see a play, I might frick around and go watch the Winter One Acts.
Like you wouldn't want to go back to your high school right now.
No, unless I had a good reason to.
That's fair. See, my high school doesn't really exist anymore.
Oh.
They basically, the year I graduated, they found out that it was so old that there was actually like asbestos in the walls.
Ew,
and
dude,
at certain classes were like, well, there's asbestos in like almost every old wall because asbestos is in insulation.
Yeah.
So, but it was just more that the asbestos was kind of like not staying in the walls as well as it was supposed to. And the whole thing would have taken like some kind of retrofitting, but it was beautiful. Like my school kind of looked like Hogwarts. Like I'm talking like gorgeous. I swear to God, it's a gorgeous stonework building.
What?
It's been there for ages. It was gorgeous. It had like towers, and then there was a new part of the building that they built on for the gym that they still built in like really similar stone, and there was just like a catwalk connecting the two. It was beautiful.
Man, you fancy up in French Canada.
Yeah, well, it was still like a relatively small school for some people, but then they decided, oh, we're just gonna build a new one instead of trying to fix this one. And then like some dude like bid them to go put it out in the middle of nowhere, and now there's all these problems where like kids are dealing with like increased feelings of isolation, like on top of what's normal for high school, and like a bunch of them can't go to school because they can't get to their jobs in enough time after school is done because they're literally out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh,
like put it this way, the high school is named after a city and they're no longer in the city that it's named after. They're in a different city. But so I can't even really go back to my high school, but if I did, I would go back if they were like, hey, do you want to come give like a talk about what you do?
I guess I would give a TED talk or whatever.
I would hella do that. I'd be really, yeah. I had a bad first couple years at high school, but I closed out high school really strong.
Same, bro. The first 2 years were miserable. Second 2 years, figured out who I am and just
like my worst time of school was like 7th grade to the end of like right around the end of 10th grade, and then I made different friends and stuff, and like I had really closed myself off the first couple of years of high school.
Yo, are you
because
me?
of some like
are you me?
I just did some I did some like stupid shit, and then I was just kind of like I don't want to be associated with anybody, so I just kind of went and did my own shit for a couple of years, and then I made better friends and then kind of reconnected with some old friends, and then like by like the last couple of years, like I was in like a band in school, so we played all the assemblies, and I was like big into like different student council stuff.
That's
and like
right. You had groupies, dude.
Yeah, like the teachers just kind of liked me too. Like I was a good student too. I was like the kind of kid, I got better as school went on. Like I really lack focus, but that kind of got better the older I got because there was just more interesting things to like work on, I guess.
More different types of
stuff. Exactly.
I don't think my high school would let me back. Do you ever see
that?
Yeah, did you ever see
Did you ever see the troublemaker? I was the one who got my friends out of trouble.
Well, I wasn't a troublemaker, but did you ever see like my high school stories series or watch any of those videos?
Yeah.
I was actually talking about those the other day too because and it's so expensive. I might gotta look into it though because I think it would be worth taking the L on the money. I want to retell them in a way because people keep asking me, they're like, yo, bring back high school stories. I'm like, guys, I literally told you all of them. Like I can't go back
11 years ago.
I have literally been so graduated, like I don't have new stories from high school, but
I was gonna make them up like everybody else does on YouTube.
Well, that's true too, but I was gonna like retell them and have like an animator like animate it for me.
Oh hell
yeah, I think that'd be so sick. But I know like I don't know how to animate, and animating takes so long. I know it's a very long process.
Just do like the half-assed animation ones where they're kind of like this and then they just move
gotta
to the
be.
next scene really quick. You want the full like.
Yeah. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna like big dick.
You
do
really
it.
want it.
Yeah,
Okay,
I want it to
got
be
you.
like
Okay.
MiDNiTE's high school stories
I respect that.
immortalized in a.
I respect that.
Yeah,
I do. I respect that. Okay.
Do you have like a high school story? Like, what's one of your most memorable high school moments? Ironically, all of my high school stories happened outside of the actual building.
Yeah,
But
I have a handful of those. I don't know. I feel like I have like quite a few. It would just actually be sitting down and remembering them.
yeah,
And I just got to be careful what I say.
I think
Because like my mom listens to these.
Oh come on, your mom will
No, I'm
love
joking.
it.
No, my mom
it.
knows. Like my mom knows the worst of what I did. Like I was like a young punk, so I did some stupid shit.
You were like rebelling a little bit.
Yeah, not even rebelling against them or anything. I was just like trying to find my place as is normal.
Oh,
but
same. Man, teenagers are so stupid. No offense, teenagers. I can say that as a former teenager.
Oh, they are. I just like I don't even have anything like super. I do definitely have some like weird, insane ones. Like I was going to visit somebody that went to a different school, which I definitely should not have been doing, like on a lunch break or something. And I had to take like a cab, and the cab driver was really weird. And I remember this is before I had my own cell phone because I never wanted one for some reason. So I just remember that particular day I had my dad's cell phone for something.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just, the cab driver was like, oh, is that one of those ones that vibrate? I'm going to need to get myself one of those for other reasons.
Ew, dude.
And I was like, you just picked me up from a high school. And I look young now, so I looked young in high school.
Yeah, I was going to say, dude, you...
So it's just like weird things like that where I'm just like hanging around this school that's like 20 minutes away from mine, and like I'm not supposed to be there. But
wait, so you would like take a cab over to go see your friend or whatever?
Yeah.
Damn.
I had a lot of friends that went to that school, but there was like one particular person I was like visiting on purpose.
Whipped.
Yeah, not even just
how
offered.
come they didn't come visit you? What?
Because I had a job, so I could pay. I could pay for the cabs.
Oh,
I had a job.
Dude, I was one of the only friends in my group that had a car. And so I was like a fucking bus driver in the morning. I would stop at my friend's house. I'd stop, pick my first friend up, stop, pick my second friend up, fucking pick my third friend up, and go to school.
Oh my god.
I think I got used by some of them, but it's whatever.
Probably.
Well, thanks for taking advantage of my niceness, man.
That's still nice. People do that. Yeah, no, I didn't. I remember one time before I actually had a driver's license. We wanted to go get food somewheres, and my friend was like, I need to study for a test. Like, they're like, can you drive? And I was like, I have my beginners.
Oh shit.
And they were like, that's fine. And I was like, this is illegal. This is illegal. I know that I like that particular brand of Nissan now, so that was a nice car.
There you go.
There you go. Use code OPTIC to save 10% off all Nissan purchases.
Yeah, wouldn't that be amazing if that's how that worked?
That would be amazing. I know. But I don't know, like just weird, stupid things like that. I was like I said, for some reason, most teachers like me. I had a couple run-ins with like some, because if I didn't respect a teacher, they fucking knew it. So, but like for the most part, teachers like me. So like I was always the one where people would be like, where are you going? And I'm like, they're at co-op and I have to go drive them to their co-op classes. And that's why we're not attending the pep rally today. And they just be like, so if I check that, that'll all check out. And I'm like, yes. And I knew one of them was in co-op. And I was like, Stephanie, blah, blah, blah. She's in co-op. This is where she is. And like the rest of them, like, I'm not specifically sure where they are, but you can, and then like, they just never check on it because like, it was just like,
yeah,
it's just Amanda.
Yeah. Whatever. She's not
whatever.
She's not doing anything crazy, too crazy.
Yeah. Like sometimes I just wouldn't go to classes and I would just tag along for the tours. They would give the tours to the middle school kids, and I would just like commandeer a group and be like, "Hey," and then I would just show up and
hang around the middle schoolers on purpose, bro.
No, because then I wouldn't have to go to class, so I'd have something due. I'd have something due, and I'd just be like, "I gotta show these middle schoolers around," and they'd be like, "It's fine, Amanda, you're good." Thank you.
I would skip class. Hall monitor guy would walk right by me. He's the one that's supposed to be checking for all the class skippers, and I would just kind of give him like a look, and he would just be like, and then he started to catch on. He's like, "You supposed to be in class?" And I was like, "I'm not sure." I didn't go to one of my art classes for an entire month. I failed art.
I was gonna be like, that's really impressive, but now it's not.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Oh
I mean,
God.
I don't know. I
don't do what we do.
No, don't do. I don't know. Yeah, I had a good high school experience in the terms of socializing and finding my own identity, because I think that's really important when you're that young.
Agreed.
But I wish I would have taken learning more seriously or applied myself more, because like if there is something that I enjoy reading about or learning about, I could kill it. And I think a lot of people
for sure
are like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just didn't enjoy that. I preferred socializing, and I
I
don't
did
know.
both. I tried to I tried to juggle both pretty well. Like my best friend Jeff would always be really bad for like waking up in the morning and starting this weird little like it was a Dragon Ball Z game, but like it really wasn't. Somebody made some weird like little text to type, so it was like little tiny asterisks, but it was Dragon Ball. And you
Yeah.
had to go through and find all the Dragon Balls, and you could do things. And he would just, I would just be like, he just wouldn't show up to class one day, and I'd be like, Jeff, what are you doing? He'd be like, well, like I gotta find the last Dragon Ball. Like, Jeff, you always have to find the last Dragon Ball. He's like, yeah, but like if I left right now, I'd be late. And then Mr. McPherson would let me in his class anyways. And then it was like third period. So it's like, what's the point of going back before lunch? And I'm like, but then you showed up for lunch and then we don't go back after lunch. Because like three of us had the same teacher for both the
Oh, he been
afternoon
hella
classes.
skipping.
He was hella skipping. He did fine. But he's like the most responsible person I know now, actually.
It wasn't worth it, man. I had to go to summer school to graduate.
He did an extra year.
Oh God, that's my worst fear.
He could have done it. He could have done an extra semester, but he was all like, "I'm just gonna get more credits and like increase some stuff." Like it's like his like girlfriend was there for another year too. Like they both kind of did it, so it was like, and now they're married, so like it was good. It was.
Dog,
I feel like we had some of our best times then, so I'm glad he stuck around for the extra year. But that was the thing. Like three of us had the same teacher for this afternoon classes, so if we overextended our lunch a little bit, it's like we just couldn't go back for the rest of the day.
Yeah, they knew.
Because three of us can't show up to the same teacher if we didn't show up for the last class with that teacher.
I mean, they know what you're doing anyway if all three of you are gone.
Yeah, no, he didn't even care. He was funny. I fell asleep in one of his classes once and it like extended into the next one. I just woke up and he was looking at me and he's like, thought he was going to get mad. He was just like, you work too hard. Because he knew that I had a job too. Like he went and bought like Reservoir Dogs from me. Like this guy was cool. He was like 70 or something buying Reservoir Dogs.
Damn,
I was like, hell yeah.
That's a sick movie.
But he was just like, you work too hard. And then he just went back to class and I was like,
what was like your high school job?
I worked at a pretzel maker for a year. Nice. That was my first like actual job, but then I got that job at HMV, which was like a CD record store, like pop culture
like
type
FYE
store
in America, I think.
Yeah, but like really, it was like basically this is like a massive company that like started out of England, very music based, like awesome, and then it just kind of like it never really went into the States, but it went like Japan, Australia, Canada.
Yeah,
awesome place. So I worked there for like all through the rest of high school, all through university, and like the only reason why I quit was because I got the research job at the university. So
damn.
Yeah,
I worked at Taco John's.
I loved it.
So
I had humble beginnings.
My first job was McDonald's when I was 14. Then
humbler beginnings.
The most humble. $5.50 an hour. Could only work like 4-hour max shifts, unless it was the weekend, of course.
We did not have that set up. They just shoved me in there.
Well, yeah,
once you're 15, they just shove you in there.
Once I was 16, then I worked at Taco John's for a little bit, and I was like, fuck this, dude. I can't make people's food. I was doing dishes, and I was like, fuck this. So I went to the mall, and then I started working at a board game store. So that was pretty chill. That was probably like, thinking back, I think it was one of the best experiences. I don't know if I would tell people now to work at a mall, because I think malls are like on the outs a little bit, but yeah, working at a mall is a great experience.
Working in a mall is great, especially when you're in high school. Like it's just a good time.
The homie from Jamba Juice would come hang out.
Yeah,
say hi.
And like some of my I remember like trading like pretzels for like Second Cup, which is like it's like Starbucks basically. We do have Starbucks. Don't be like, oh my god, Canadians don't have Starbucks.
Wow, fucking third world country over here in New Brunswick.
Yeah, it's just like Canadian Second Cup, and they just happened to be right across the hallway from us. So it was like we would do stuff like that, and I don't know. I actually loved, like, as much as I hated retail some days, and obviously working in a retail environment, I always say it's like exactly the same as working anywhere else. It's like people are like, oh, working in a record store must be cool. And I'm like, we still get the same assholes.
Yeah, it's like
because everybody likes music and everybody likes movies, but it was a sick job.
Yeah, dealing with people, especially when you have to deal with people buying things. I've noticed when you have to deal with people buying things for the holidays, that you would think that's like the happiest time because they're like giving gifts and getting ready for family. People are crazy. My other job that I had, I think it was after the mall, I worked at Costco in the 1 hour photo. Well, I started off on the front end, worked my way into 1 hour photo.
Worked your way.
Worked my way. Girl, I was certified in a couple different departments. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Costco.
Oh, hell
I love Costco. I still go there all the time. Fucking love it. But anyway, like people would have us like print their greeting cards for the winter, and like if anything went wrong with that, better believe that freaking Mary or whoever was ordering these was gonna be a C to you at the register. I literally got yelled at to my face by a grown man. I was like 19 at the time. There was this like 50-year-old guy like literally screaming obscenities at me.
Yeah,
then I had a creepy guy calling me. I had to have like my managers escort me to my car. It was weird. Retail's weird, bro.
Yeah, retail's weird. You'll get some of the nicest people. You'll get some of the weirdest people that you're still like, this is okay that you're weird. You're still an okay person. Then you get people that you're like, I'm pretty sure you're a pedophile and I can't do anything about it. And then like you get just those people that show up around the holidays, can't believe that you don't have this like one incredibly either really, really popular thing that they should have been in months ago for like the year the Wii's came out. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, and then like or something that's completely obscure. It's like if it's so obscure that you know that like no one's gonna have it, why are you here? Like we can get it for you, but it's December 12th. So like that shit ain't coming in 2 weeks over the holidays. Like that's not gonna be here till January.
Yeah, people are
Somebody's
wild.
Getting an IOU. People are wild.
I wonder what they do on the internet now, though, because a lot of that stuff happens on the internet now, right? So stuff messes up. They're just kind of mad at themselves, right? Or I guess they could write a letter, make a call.
Yeah. But well, that's the thing. People be like, oh, on Amazon, it would have shown up like way faster. And it's like, yeah, because Amazon has it sitting in a warehouse ready to ship to you right now, like as you order it, and they can spend a bunch of money to ship it to you faster. But like if Amazon doesn't have it, they have to do the same thing we do and outsource it from the company. Because sometimes you'll hit something up on Amazon and it'll be like unavailable right now, but place your order and we'll see what we can do. And then it won't show up until they get an allocated number of orders for them to like fulfill it. Whereas like we'll order you one. We can do that. We have that ability.
Yeah. But whatever happened to the store that you worked at? Is it still there?
No, it closed down. Like the whole basically it was doing really good, and then the UK one actually went out of business, and then a different company bought out us and then reopened the UK one. And then I don't know if it was like the money funneling between the two, but like this one ended up closing down. I think like maybe a year and a half ago. And it was really hard because I still had friends that worked there, and like a lot of them got like completely screwed over. Damn. Like they didn't get severance packages or anything. And it was one of these things, they let go of a bunch of like the higher paid management, and everyone was like, oh, that's so weird that they got rid of all these people. It's like they let them go because they could fire them, and then they would get their severance packages. Because like once the bank officially came in to close things out, you weren't liable for any kind of severance package. You just had to work out your term and it was done. And then you could just get EI from the government.
Damn the internet. Damn you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they landed on their feet, man.
Oh, the people that I care about are all good right now.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
I think anyone with a good work ethic and just like good people skills can excel in a lot of different stuff.
It's true. Like I think back though, because when I'd first gone to school, like after high school, I went to university, and I didn't want to go right out the gate. But my dad had to like drop out of high school when he was a teenager, so he was like really big on making sure I got an education, so I'd have more opportunities than he did.
Yeah.
And he didn't really understand me being like, can I just take like a year? And he was like, no, you've got like they're offering you a scholarship, like you have to take it. But I completely bombed out after the first semester because I just wasn't into it. Yeah. And I was like, I'm going to be the assistant manager of this HMV. I'm going to do great things. And I had an epiphany.
To the manager.
Exactly. And I just remember I just had an epiphany one day, and I was like, I'm going to go back to school. And then I did, and I killed it that time because I just felt more mentally ready. And I just kind of think that like if I had not done that, like where would I? Because I left before the place closed down, because after I was done my education, got offered a research position at the university for the maximum amount of time they could let me do that. So
I think like same thing happened to me. Like, and I don't fault my dad for this. He's just trying to, like, your parents are just trying to guide you most of the time. They're trying to guide you in the right direction.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he was wrong, but like he was very like pressuring for me to go back to school. I took a year off, made some money. He's like, okay, now you got to go to school. I'm like, fuck, man. So and I went, and it just same thing, like uninterested, don't care, unless it's something I really care about, like.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the type of person, I think, like, if I wasn't doing any of this, like, I have a couple of ideas of what I would want to do. Just, like, not like a trade, but, like, just, like, learning the ins and outs of, like, something is what I would want to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't want to write an essay. I don't care about any of that stuff. I want to, like, learn something
good
useful.
at that, though.
Right?
I know, I feel that. I'm good at it.
One of my first semesters in school was I took, like, a writing class. And I thought I'd be sick. I thought I'd get to, like, fucking write I loved writing. And Yeah, because
That's why you say creative writing
well, I was gonna say I
classes.
took creative writing in high school, so I
Oh,
thought it'd
okay,
be
yeah.
kind of close to that. I could at
No.
least, yeah, they would be like, yeah, write a paper on this, and I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah,
Like,
writing is different than creative writing.
sure is.
Yeah. Writing is just seeing like what you can like it's almost like a debate class almost. It's just like
Yeah.
pick a topic and write about it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
We're about the same age. Do you feel like good
We might
about?
be.
Yeah, we might be. I don't know. You could be 18. You could be close to my age. You could be 22, 3,
There you go. 23,
70,
24,
11.
25,
You're an
800.
enigma.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyways,
Anyway,
continue with your question.
anyway. Did you? Well, we grew up in the same time. Is basically what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
you
for
grew up
sure.
before the internet was completely taking over. Like,
Yeah, I got that like
everything.
in between. I had like the
Yeah.
non-internet childhood and then like I got to ease myself into the world of like
Same.
MSN Messenger and AOL type stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember
Yeah.
like people don't, not that this is like, oh, I'm so cool for doing this, but like we used to have to remember our friends' phone numbers. Like,
Yeah.
and if you wanted
You know.
yeah, if you wanted to meet
Yeah.
up with somebody, you had to be like, meet me at the park at 11, see you there. And then like,
Yeah.
you know, there's
Trust
no
that they
text, there's no, yeah, there's no texting on the way, there's no texting an hour before. If you're there and they don't show up, you
Yeah.
can't do anything. You're just kind of like,
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
Like, not that that would ever happen to me.
Ashley would never have been able to leave me alone at that movie theater because I wouldn't have known.
Yeah, yo, exactly.
Yeah.
I would have
Totally
had to
for
come
real.
back and say, Amanda, I really don't feel good, and I will be back in 1 hour.
Yeah, you would have had to walk all the way back over those people and then walk all the way back over them
Oh,
again to
dude.
leave. Or just like, psst,
Yeah, Jedi, yo, Jedi.
I got the tumblies. I got the tummy rumble. So I
feel
got
like
to go.
I feel like shit right now.
Yeah, I got to go.
My point is though, now that the internet has taken over and you've grown up without it, like,
Yeah.
we're kind of like wanting to talk about this at the beginning. Like, what do you think about like social media overusage? Do you feel like you use social media too much, and do you enjoy taking breaks from social media, or do you think it's necessary?
I think I definitely use Twitter too much,
Same.
but I always say that it's kind of like networking. I always feel like if you're trying to make it in this and you're not on Twitter, like what are you even doing with your life? Like if you're
True.
trying to be a content creator and you're trying to put yourself out there and you're not on Twitter, like what are you doing?
Valid.
How do you think anybody's going to find you?
Yeah.
You know?
It's a fine line.
It is. So what I've been trying to do, and sometimes I do it better than other days. I don't do the thing where I delete Twitter and stuff off my phone. Like maybe I could, maybe it would make me engage a little bit more. But I like if I'm not going to be on Twitter, I'm going to be on Reddit. It's going to be one of the two
Yeah.
things. I like having something if there's nothing going on to occupy my brain. But before I go to bed is when I've kind of been bad for it the last little bit, but I like reading before bed. So I like when it's time to go to bed, the phone, ideally I actually want to get like another alarm clock for my room and not have my phone in the bedroom.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
When I go to bed, phone is not in the room
Yeah.
so that I can't do the thing where I get it after the alarm goes off and then I just stay in bed. I don't actually have the luxury of doing that much because obviously I push myself to the bare maximum of when I have to wake up in the morning before I go to work. Cause like when you go into work that early, you're not giving yourself a lot of extra time.
Yeah.
But just regular days, so I can't just default to grabbing my phone. So like I like, leave it out there. I like reading a little bit before bed because then it just kind of like shuts everything off from the outside world. I like to do this when I'm particularly stressed about something online. Like if I've released some kind of video that people are either like taking not well or it's just reaching outside my usual realm.
Like a shit show.
Yeah, exactly. Just so I can kind of like, just so I can just decompress, read something. And then it just gives me I love reading and I don't always take the time to do it as much as I would like. So it gives me a chance to do that. And it helps you sleep better because you're not looking at a screen.
Yeah. Reading helps me fall asleep. Like I'm trying to read a book right now and I'll get like a half a chapter and I'm like,
Man, I'm the opposite. Sometimes I get too into the book and then I can't sleep. I'm like,
oh. Damn,
I can't sleep.
I can't sleep right now. I want to know what happens.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
I think like breaks are important, but I have like kind of your answer is basically mine. Like I hate that I wake up in the morning and I look at my phone and I look at my Twitter interactions and I see, well, how many likes did this get? Or what's going on with this? What's the conversation here? And true, like, yes, we do work in this space and especially like for doing what I want to do, like I need to be on Twitter. I need to understand like the temperature of everything, or the atmosphere of like
the climate.
What meme is big right now? What content can I make from that? Like what?
That's exactly it. I feel like almost everything I do right now is very dependent on what's going on in the world, so I have to kind of be tuned in.
Yeah. Like
unless my video for that day is like a movie related video, like I have to kind of see what the hell's going on.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm really bad for Reddit too. The worst part though is for me is like even like during like I'm watching Game of Thrones right now. So I'm trying to get all caught up by this next week. I'm already in season 6. Like crazy shit's happening. No spoilers or anything. I'm excited because almost every major thing that has happened has been spoiled for me in some way. So I'm very excited, and it's my fault. I'm very late to the show. Of course. So like, so I'm excited to actually watch the show with no spoilers now and not have any idea of what's going on, because like I've kind of got a clue the whole time.
There you go.
But yeah, like even during like a slow part during a show that I'm enjoying, I'm like, what's
sometimes you want to,
well, what's on Reddit? What's the newest thing on Reddit? And then I look at my Reddit, everything's gray because I've already clicked it. I'm like, oh my god, you monster! Like, what are you doing?
You monster! And then you don't think like it's your problem. You're like, why aren't people on the internet more interesting right now?
I know, exactly. You're like, how has nobody updated this? Like,
come on, I need this.
Exactly.
No, I totally get that. Like honestly, because there's even people who do, for Game of Thrones specifically, on the Game of Thrones subreddit, do live. It's like a live chat, so people are on Reddit talking about the episode as they're watching the episode in this thing. So it's like even the people that are like the ultra fans can't disconnect enough to like just watch it. That's another major difference between now and back then. Like back, you didn't have to worry about things getting spoiled for you unless you had that one asshole kid that saw everything early and then just came to school being like, I'm trying to think of like a spoiler from, I don't even know, something like from the Pokemon movie.
Oh yeah, Pokemon for sure.
Like the Pokemon movie, it's like there were clones of all the Pokemon. Ah!
Wait, what? I'm just kidding. I mean, I've never seen that, but yeah.
You never seen Pokemon movies?
I never got into Pokemon.
They make evil clones of all of the like. Either way, it's just like you didn't have to worry about things like spoilers back then. Like it wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
And then it started becoming like a thing. It was. Now that's like literally you have to go through and being like, I gotta, because like literally Endgame comes out in the UK one day before it comes out everywhere else.
Oh shit!
They can see it on the Wednesday.
Why?
I don't know. They can see it on the Wednesday, and so like I have to watch out. So I'm gonna have to like ban a bunch of words on Twitter. I'm gonna have to block out words.
How come they do that? Like for instance, sometimes
they do it for piracy reasons.
True, I guess that's true.
But maybe for like, this, I think it's. Like, I thought this was like it's a courtesy. They film a lot of scenes there, so they give them the courtesy of giving it to them. Like,
doesn't Australia get it like Tuesday? Then?
Australia would get it the Wednesday as well, but maybe that's why they're justifying giving it to the UK. Because I don't know, it's almost like they feel like North America spoils things the most, so if we get it last, it'll be okay.
For the redheaded stepchildren.
Yeah, because like I was talking to my friend Brody, and he was like, "Yeah, it starts at 11 where I live," and we're like, "Oh man, like we're literally 4 hours behind you, and we're still we'll be like halfway done the movie by the time yours starts." But then he was like, "Yeah, but it's on the Wednesday."
Yeah,
and I was like, "Shit."
This is a crazy release too, because like a bunch of the tickets are like sold out. Like I saw them going on eBay for a lot, dude.
I got my reserve seats. I'm good to go.
I don't. I'm probably gonna wait like a week to see it. Like
You're probably gonna see it with like Typo. Typo said like they were gonna try to get. I don't know if do you know Typo?
Yeah, I know Typo.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, so they said they're trying. They said that they were probably like we're gonna go like with a bunch of people from like the office and the work and stuff. So I was like, maybe you'll go with that group of people.
Maybe I went to I think I went to the last one with the
You went to the last one,
and then
you did, yeah.
I went to a movie. I usually like to go with Sierra because there's this super dope eatery. Damn. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know if we have tickets, and now there's probably no tickets, so I don't know when I'm gonna see it or who I'm gonna see it with. I'll figure it out.
That's fair.
Maybe I'll leave in the middle of it. Who knows? Maybe.
I was gonna say I know who you were supposed to see, Captain. So.
I saw it, dude. I loved the first hour of it, and then apparently the second half got lit.
I'm like, because I'd already seen it. I'm like, the girl next to me was really weird. She was really into it every time Captain Marvel came on screen, to the point that she was crying as if it was the most important thing to her. But she was also always on her phone anytime there was important conversations happening.
I
was like, how much do you really care? It was Facebook, but how much do you really care? So I was just like, I'm just like texting stuff to MiDNiTE, and I'm just like, there's a fight scene happening too. I'm just a girl right now. She's like, damn, Jedi.
I know, dude.
I should have come back.
Like, fuck, bro.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I know. It was good.
Maybe she was on Facebook looking for advice.
She could have been looking for advice. Is it officially advice o'clock?
Yeah, what time? What? When did we start? Noon? We're like 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah, we've been doing good. We've just been rambling.
Yeah, we killing
but yeah.
it. Sorry, we're rambling this episode. This is the ramble episode.
But it's good. I think people like this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think next week, unless you plan to come to Texas anytime super soon, I think next week
probably not till May.
Yeah, I think next week we could do. Davis said he wants to be on.
Oh hell yeah! I would love to have Davis on because Davis is always really timely. Wait, Davis is going to be in North Carolina next week, isn't he?
Oh, is he going home for Easter?
He's going home for Easter. I don't know when he leaves though. He had me working on something for him, and he just wanted it. He needed a fast turnaround time because he was leaving. So
maybe another day.
I finished it today. We'll figure it out. Maybe he will still be here next week, and he just wanted to make sure he'd have a lot of time to like deal with the footage that I got him. But anyways,
we'll have a different guest. Who knows?
We'll find out.
We'll look, but yeah, I'm trying to. In my head, I want it to be like every other week we have a guest,
alternating weeks. But yeah, I'm definitely down for Davis because Davis is always on time.
Oh yeah. Every time.
Every time. Yeah, we can get to questions.
Yeah. I tweeted out the advice email. By the way, follow us on Twitter. My Twitter is @OpticMidnight. Amanda's is @AmandaTheJedi.
Yeah, everything's Amanda the Jedi. So follow me everywhere. My ego needs it. So we got some questions from Hick. Flo to Hickory asked a couple questions, some serious, some not so much, but let's go through them. So how does one create an LLC? The not serious answer is I just created Amanda the Jedi LLC at gmail.com. And now I have an LLC because that's definitely how it works. Not at all. Don't listen to me. Just look on Google. I think LLCs might be different depending on where you live. So just look into it.
I had my tax professional do it for me.
Exactly. And look into whether or not you actually need whatever stage of like creation you're at, because I actually looked into it for me. And apparently for what I do right now, I don't need one.
Yeah, unless
I could have one, but like it makes more sense for me to operate as just like a freelancer, not as a separate company.
Yeah, it depends on like how much you're making, and it can give you a lot of good tax breaks. So
it can, yeah. So I could have one, and maybe I should have one, but that is, again, I'm not a tax professional.
Yeah, so I would talk to a professional and see if you need one. They'll let you know. Because it costs money to get it, and you don't want to spend money to get it. So
if you don't need it. Okay, so the next one's kind of like a question I didn't actually want to talk about.
And then
I brought it up.
Then I said the green light. I said, no, Jedi
was like, we have to. Okay, so I just want to clarify. I don't like this person that is mentioned in this question. And I think
neither, for the record.
I think he knows exactly what he's doing. And that's why we're actually going to talk about it. So the question is, I'll say, what's your take on Alex Jones' claim that there's interdimensional space aliens who are taking babies from abortion clinics to harvest organs? I don't have a thought on that statement. I hate Alex Jones, and he says shit like this so that people think he's insane, so that he can try to use the fact that he's just not entirely with it as a deflection away from all the very serious criticism that he's received and like the myriad of lawsuits that he's facing down the gun. So like, if he basically he does all these weird appearances where he says stupid things and makes himself seem like a meme, so that he can meme himself, so that it makes it seem like, okay, this guy's actually just an idiot or he's unhinged, when I think he knows exactly what he's doing and he's a hell of a lot smarter. And I don't like the fact that people are like, he's so funny. I would just rather everybody just call him the asshole that he is and let him rot in a corner.
Yeah, I think like, I don't know, because he's been kind of the same way for a really long time. So to say that he's playing it up now, I don't really agree with. He's playing it up
more.
I think
he's playing it up more.
He's always played it up. But yeah, maybe he is now like saying like even crazier stuff. And I think like,
well, before he used to say he believed it all, and now he's like, I'm a character basically. I'm basically playing a character. No, you can't use I'm playing a character as an excuse when you're getting sued for saying horrible, horrible things to parents.
I do believe he is playing a character, though. I do believe he is a crazy man, but I do believe he's playing a character because he's actually really business savvy.
But that's the thing. I think he's playing a character, but he can't use that character to alleviate the guilt that he accrues for the things he says to people. It's one thing if you want to say insane shit like, I think that there's aliens stealing babies from abortion clinics, and I think that water is turning something in the water is turning the frogs gay. That's fine. It's a completely different thing when you're going to start calling like grieving parents crisis actors.
Yeah,
you want to literally attack people like constantly. constantly attack people, bring other people on your platform to continuously attack them, and then just try to say, I'm playing a character.
Yeah. Have you
No.
seen like his interviews where I watched part of when he went on Joe Rogan recently where he tries to like explain that away because Joe was not letting him like away too easily.
I know.
He was like, "Why did you do this? What about this?" And like his explanations are definitely not enough for me. Like that just makes no sense. You just can't function in society that way.
No.
Like I just don't.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think that if you're gonna say stuff like that, I don't think that you belong. And I think that is why we saw him get so censored by these different platforms.
Yeah. Which is now letting him martyr himself, which is like the other issue. And it's like, I don't know what the solution is.
Yeah.
I don't know what the solution is because I don't like it when people get censored. I don't like it when certain ideologies get pushed out there as fact. But at the same time, I don't like it when people can martyr themselves on these situations because they're being censored.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want people to say really crazy, abusive things to other people, but then like, what do you do about it?
Yeah, I don't. It's hard.
Like, what's the answer? Like, I don't know.
There has to be a line somewhere, but there also has to be free speech. So
I know.
I think it's within the platform's rights to say no, though.
That's the thing, but it can still martyr them because everybody's like, well, it's free speech. And it's like, yes, freedom of speech protects you from government persecution. It does not
you from, like,
protect you from private entities and their business dealings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he plays it up quite a lot. You can see, like, I was surprised at how long he was on the Joe Rogan show for because he's allowing himself to become inebriated and also just showing a lot of his cards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, showing a lot.
Yeah.
I personally don't care for him. Anything other than answering this question, anything like after listening to that Joe Rogan thing, that was all I needed here. I'll probably never listen to or read anything about him again if I can help it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because I just don't think I think he's playing a character. He's using it to make money, and he is very business savvy, and he's not as dumb as he's pretending to be.
Oh, yeah, exactly. He's trying to play up how dumb he is so he can try to get himself out of, like, trouble.
Yeah.
Because, like, regardless of the character you're playing, at some point, you're just being a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my thoughts there. Then the last question from Hick is there would there ever be a situation where a supporter could ask you as a content creator either to dinner or a wedding or some other public venue where it wouldn't be weird?
Not unless I was already friends with them.
Yeah.
You can't just say, hey, streamer, want to go on a date? Like, you have to build rapport. And there's a difference in it.
But also don't come in the stream expecting to build rapport in that way because that's just as weird.
Yeah, like trying to build romantic rapport with a streamer is not going to work, especially from Twitch chat. Like, I have become, like, friends with people from my stream for sure.
Yes,
like, that's a given, like, for sure.
Same.
And, like, I think that that's a normal progression. Sure, is it possible that some streamers have, like, ended up dating their viewers? I'm sure that's happened.
Yeah.
I personally would not want to be asked on a date unless I expressed interest first.
Yeah, because it kind of comes back that it's a weird power dynamic in different ways. So they're interested in you based on what you put out there. And even as a streamer, I think I'm pretty true to myself on stream. They still don't technically know me. They've never actually just had like an actual conversation with me or really level with me one-on-one. Most of what they get is when I'm putting out there publicly. And I don't know why I expected you to jump in there. But yeah, I did. I don't know why I did, but normally I have like the next thing I'm going to say, but it's just kind of one of those things that, and then like the other side is that you as the streamer technically have the power in the situation. Yeah, and that's what kind of makes it weird. And it just more gets weird when people come in thinking they can like buy your affection in that way. Like, don't be that person who's like donating a lot of money because they think they're gonna like get something out of it. Like, if you want to donate money because like you enjoy the content and you want to support the person, that's fine. But like, don't donate thinking that the streamer then owes you something in return.
Yeah.
And
like I always like meeting like my viewers in person.
Absolutely.
Like at an event where it's like we're both gonna be at, like obviously I'm gonna meet you and it's gonna be a good time. I try to like make sure I have some multiple interactions with the people, especially that are at my stream all the time. Like make sure I talk to them and get to know them a little bit. Like because it's much 100%. Different when it's face to face. Like instead of just saying Kappa, like you're actually laughing face to face, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's cool.
You know,
but and this is just me as a person. I don't like being hit on ever
Yeah,
unless I
no.
like them. And I
Exactly.
try to let them know that I like them. So,
Exactly.
yeah, that's just
Exactly.
my personality, though. Some people like being
Yeah.
hit on, I guess. I don't know.
Some people do, but like, I don't know. I honestly, I feel like I put it out there enough. Like, if anybody gives me like compliments on my look in the stream, I just tend to like ignore it. I don't even acknowledge
Oh,
it.
really? I
I
say
acknowledge everything.
thanks. Like, if
I
they're
don't even
like,
say
MiDNiTE, you're
thanks.
cute. I'm like, thanks, bro. Like,
Okay, but sometimes people come in and be like, "Hi, how you doing? Beautiful as ever," and I'll just be
oh,
like,
wow.
"I'm doing good. How are you?" And it's like, I don't know. It's just like I'm weird. I don't like people. Me and Butters were actually just having this conversation because somebody, and I don't think he definitely didn't mean anything bad by it, but he was all like, "Who's cuter?" And then it was like a poll, and it was like Amanda the Jedi, Noisy Butters. And then Butters was like, "I voted for Amanda." So then I was like, "I voted for Butters." And then she got my DMs and was like, "I really hate it when people do that because it's like, people already value us
Yeah,
by our
that's
looks so
weird,
much
right?
that it sucks that when people that are actually genuinely a fan of both of us are putting that out there in a way that's going to make people, and it could turn violent because she's got a lot of fans. So she could have actually had people being like, "Yo, it's of course it's
Yo.
Butters. Amanda's hideous."
Yeah,
Like,
fuck Jedi, piece of
yeah,
shit. I'm voting
yeah,
Butters.
exactly.
Like,
Like
it gets weird.
it didn't. Yeah, it definitely didn't go that way, but like it could, and like we're both the same way. We don't want people like I personally definitely don't want people valuing me on my looks. Like if people want to say, "Hey, I really like that video," then I'm like, "Oh, thank
Yeah,
you,"
right.
or
Like you're much rather somebody compliment you on like your
on the
work.
things that I've done. Not like I put no effort into the way that I look, so like I don't need a compliment on
What
it because
kind
I
of
just don't
Leo
care.
are you, a Jedi?
I know,
This
right?
doesn't
I
make any
love
sense.
compliments. I just don't need like compliments on my looks, I guess. Like I would just,
Yeah.
especially because like maybe it's because I'm just legitimately like I only want compliments on my looks from certain people, and like those are like my people
Yeah.
that watch my stream are not the people that I would care.
Like if someone compliments my appearance, like whatever, like oh
Yeah, I'm like, oh,
cool.
thank you.
It's
That's so nice. Thank you.
this is gonna sound fucked up, but I almost take it the same way as when someone calls me ugly. I'm like, oh, okay,
Word.
that's what they think. Like,
Yeah,
but
word.
but
People call me
when
ugly, and I'm like,
but when someone like that
whatever.
I like have feelings for or whatever, they're like, hey, like you look really good, and I'm like, oh
You're
my
like, oh,
god,
thank you. Oh
thank
my
you,
god,
girl.
this
You look good
I just did.
too.
I just showered. Like it's
All I did was
crazy.
shower
All I did was
for
shower.
the first time this week.
Yeah, first one this week, guys. You caught me when I wasn't on a work day.
Yeah, I don't look like shit right
Like
now.
I don't
So.
shower before I go to work at 5 o'clock in the morning. I shower the day before, and I shower after I get home. I'm gonna shower at 5 o'clock in the morning when I work in a gym.
Dude, yeah, I like showering at night. I'm weird. Or
I like
like
showering in the
the
morning.
evening. I like showering before I eat dinner. I'm weird.
That's a little odd. I like waking up and then showering. Like it just gets rid of all the grossness of like overnight you sweat naturally. It's a thing. Gets
Yeah,
rid of
but then
that, and then it just
like,
wakes you up. It just wakes you up.
all right, this is gonna sound crazy. Ladies, holler if you hear me. I like showering at night and letting my hair dry by itself, natural. Okay,
That's fair.
and then when I sleep, the natural
Wave.
musk
Oh, the
of
mask. Oh,
and
you
the
like the natural
oils
musk.
and like the oils get in my hair and I start to like look like and then I do my
See,
hair the
my
next
hair
morning.
doesn't work that way because my
Yeah.
hair is too fine and fair. So like it will look greasy. Not super greasy, but
Oh yeah. See, I could go like
it's noticeable.
I go like 2 days without washing, 2 or 3 days depending on what I'm doing without washing my hair, and it'll still look
I, I
decent.
like alternate days shampooing, but I always like rinse my hair daily.
Oh
There's
really?
not a day
I'll
that
rinse
water
my
doesn't touch
body
my.
on the days I don't wash my hair. Like I got a little
Yeah.
panda shower cap. Hey.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
Yeah. I saw that. Yeah, I saw
did
the
you?
panda shower.
You
I
saw my
did. Yeah.
panda shower cap?
I did.
Dope.
I got to use your shower once. Come on.
Oh my god, T! Jedi showered at MiDNiTE's
Oh my
place. What were they
god! What were they
doing?
doing? I was sleeping on her couch and then I got kicked out. So
Yeah.
no, actually, it was just like I think I'm actually allergic to her cats or her
Yeah,
litter box. I think
maybe.
I'm allergic to the litter that
Bro,
you
I
use.
got new litter since you left, just by
Okay.
coincidence, not because of
Yeah,
that,
because I
but
don't know what it was, but like every time I was kind of getting like I was losing my voice, but then I remember one of the last times I went over to the place, the second within like 5 minutes of being in there, I was suddenly like coughing and
yeah, you were
my
like
yeah.
like really having a hard time. You're like, "Do you have any tea?" And I was like, "Yeah, bro."
Yeah. So I actually think I was allergic to, so it worked out better. So I just went to stay at the Obey
She's
house for a few
allergic to
days, and
me.
yeah,
I'm allergic to
that's why
her.
that's why she abandoned me in Fort Worth too.
Well, I kind
I
of
know.
like bro, I woke up and I was like, I gotta go.
I'm out.
It was a terrible ride home too because it was like 45 minutes, and
I believe
I
it.
left at like 5 a.m. thinking, oh, I'm gonna
You
just
did.
zip home. There's gonna be no traffic, bro. There was so much traffic.
Yeah, because it was a Monday, so people would be going to work at that time. That's kind of a
it was insane. I was like,
that's
what
a little
is
weird though.
this?
Yeah.
Bro, I was
That's,
it was pitch dark outside. I was driving home
uh,
like, oh my god, I'm dying.
I believe it. That sucks.
I
That does
can't drink
suck.
alcohol. I figured that out.
You
I can't.
can't figure that one out. It was a
Yeah.
good night, but I can't drink.
Yeah. I had more fun the
Um,
night that I didn't drink,
yeah, I know
personally.
you said. I had a good time that night too.
Yeah. Are there any other
Um,
questions? So
there were, yeah, there's some other questions. So
cool.
let's get to them. We didn't do the full long podcast, but I feel like we can go a little longer today if we
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Yeah. I guess I'll just keep it anonymous. But OD, so OD
Oh, dude.
asks, OD. Recently, I actually don't even know how to answer this question. I'm going to be honest, but
Oh my
recently
god, I'm
I've
excited.
had a huge crush on one of my coworkers. This is the first time I have ever had a crush on another male. We both identify as straight, but I feel something when I'm with him. Whenever we speak, we are very flirtatious with each other, but I don't know if he feels the same way since essentially we're both straight males. You know, bisexuality is the thing. I have been
Right?
conflicted on telling him about having a crush on him or if I should just let it go. What should I do? Help. This has
Ugh.
multiple dynamics because I feel like because you guys work together,
Yeah.
that's almost like if I was just taking this from a standpoint of like people where everybody was the same sexuality and everything lined up that way, I would still be on the side of like, don't shit where you eat. So like
Yeah. There's
I'm kind of the
potential for
don't
stuff.
there's potential for like a lot of drama to happen. You know, if that's the best thing to do while you guys work together.
Yeah, it depends where they work, I guess. Like, is there like a
Yeah.
structural difference? Like, is he a
Yeah.
manager? How's it? Did he say he was
Yeah,
his
like
manager?
yeah, like is it just like a part-time job? Like are you guys in high school type thing? Like cuz if it's just kind of like a smaller casual like not really that important job, but if this is like this is the job I use to pay my bills and live and eat, like I don't know if you want to rock the boat in that kind of way. But then there's just this other dynamic where I think that, you know, if you're actually into this guy in a way that you think you have a crush on him and you'd actually be interested in pursuing a relationship with him, I think you should look into this thing called bisexuality because that
Yeah,
might
it's
be what
2019,
you are.
everybody. Who even
Yeah.
cares what you
So,
are? Maybe you don't even
yeah,
have to say your thing. You just
no.
you.
But if he's into to another guy and the other guy also is somebody who just says he's straight, that's a hard dynamic to
I wish.
because there's two options. It's either the guy, there's a three. The guy could be like, yeah, I've been feeling the same way. Let's try to like, let's see what would happen. Or you can have the classic like, ew, no. Because like a lot of guys are like that. Some guys still
Well,
have
you
that
don't
very
have to
like
like come out and be
macho.
like, "Hey, man, want to like hook up?" Like maybe, and this is
No.
my advice for any. And I've never really been in this situation.
Word.
I've had like coworkers do this to me, but like
Yeah.
don't make it weird. I
Don't make it
personally
weird.
wouldn't sleep with or try to be with somebody that I was working with in like a situation like Amanda said. But if it's like a
Yeah.
casual job, like yeah, whatever. But
Yeah.
just like ask them to hang out. Like
Yeah.
if you
Just
like
see what
someone at work,
happens.
just say, "Hey, man, like I
Yeah.
want to do
Maybe
this
things could
after
just
work. Do you want to do that?" Like
yeah, maybe things will just progress naturally. Like there's really no reason to like if it gets to the point where you feel like you can't normally hang out with this person because you're just so into them or something, then like maybe you kind of have to either decide I'm going to tell them or I'm going to kind of separate myself from the situation because that
yeah,
can happen. Like if you get to the point where you're like, "Yep, I definitely have feelings for this person." And I either need to tell them or I need to like back up the situation to like cool off type thing.
yeah. I've
Because
done
that's
that
almost what I would
before.
say. Yeah, that's what I mean. Sometimes you're just like, you know what, this probably isn't going to work. I'm really into them, so I need to like remove myself from the situation because I can't. Yeah,
What a
it's tough.
mature aspect, Amanda the
Yeah,
Jedi.
I know. I try. That is a really tough situation to be in though, because like,
Yeah, it's got to be. I wonder,
because I feel
especially.
like it'd be one thing if you were gay and you just thought he was straight, and then he at least knew that you were gay, so that there was like, it would kind of put the ball in his court if he ended up being interested. But then
Well,
or you could just do the whole like, you know, oh, I'm just the gay person pining after a straight person, it's whatever, I'll get over it. But like when you both kind of like you're now dealing with an identity crisis because you've always seen yourself as one way and now you have to kind of accept yourself as like being a different way even if it's not that big a deal because it's not.
yeah.
So it's like there's a lot of dynamics here.
Well, I
I wish I could.
wonder, how does he know he's straight? Did he ask him? Like,
Yeah,
what's
did
going
you
on with
ask
that?
your friend if
Like,
he's
you
straight?
just assuming?
Yeah,
What
give it the
happened?
old Brad Pitt test.
What's
You
that?
say, damn, I would let Brad Pitt do me. And then you see what he says. I'm joking. That's probably not good advice. He's like, what is it in The Office? He's like, I don't think I'm gay, but I'm just saying in a scenario where Brad Pitt was forcing himself on me, I wouldn't say no. And Oscar's just like, so this scenario where Brad Pitt is forcing himself on you. Yeah.
Give him
Too
the
good.
Brad Pitt or the Jon Snow test. Be like,
Yeah, the
man,
Jon Snow test. Really,
man,
Jon Snow?
Jon Snow could get it. What about you, bro? Don't do that. Just like I would just ask him to hang out. Like, is there a
Yeah,
hobby or
I'm sure.
something you
Yeah.
like to do outside of work,
Yeah.
or like go to a movie? Like, if there's this real flirty thing that you're saying, maybe see if that is
Yeah.
existing outside of
There you go.
work.
Because if you actually think you're both kind of flirting a little bit, like just ham it up, trying to hang out more and just see what naturally, like, shit just might naturally happen. But also be prepared that if something naturally happens,
Yeah.
somebody might have one of those like holy shit what I do reactions, because I read a lot of our relationships on Reddit,
Same.
and I've read stories where people are like, yeah, it happened and blah blah blah, and then like the next day they suddenly didn't want to talk to me anymore, because sometimes people just don't want to accept that part about themselves. So just be prepared for
I was gonna
everything.
say I feel like
I
it's
feel bad.
really hard for gay men.
It's very hard for gay
Like
men.
for gay women, like if you hit on a chick and she's straight, nine
Very
times out of
rarely.
10 she's going to be just flattered and not
Yeah.
offended.
Every once in a while you're gonna get that one person who's like, ew.
Ew, you know.
Like
But
I
like,
worked with this girl who was like, I was at a gay club last night and girls kept hitting on me, and I'm like, what the fuck did you think was gonna happen, Paige? You went to a gay bar.
Paige wanted it secretly.
Paige.
I think I don't know. It's got to be harder for guys, especially if they're trying to suss somebody out. Isn't there
Yeah,
like?
definitely.
Don't they have like an intricate communication system about it? I might have just made that up. Like,
Who do you think
like
they are?
clues or hints or like little like signs that
No.
they leave each other. I don't know, man.
What do you do, Ashley?
Not
You fucking
that.
leaving purple triangles
No,
everywhere?
just ask. Or just,
That- You down to fuck?
no.
Ashley saying,
You DTF, babe.
DTF.
Gross.
Hey man,
Uh,
you want some U-Haul?
Look, I have the UL app already downloaded. Like,
I can't remember one day a U-Haul drove by and I was like, look, it's Ashley.
yeah, dude, I'm downloading the fucking U-Haul app
Oh,
now just to say
really?
that I'm
Please do
hella
it.
gay.
Hell yeah.
That's
Look, I
funny.
got the U-Haul app on lock.
Yeah, see now, if like, what if a girl that I just met and I was interested in, like, saw that, she might say, "Oh wow." No, I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
wow.
I'm just kidding.
No,
That's an
I
alternate
know.
universe. But
Absolutely.
are there more questions?
It's
Good luck, bro.
There are.
By the way.
Good luck.
Good
Sorry
luck.
if we weren't more helpful, but I think her advice of just trying to hang out more is probably the best.
Yeah.
Best
Be
advice.
casual. Be cool.
Yeah. So TK, I'm just basically going first and last name things put together. TK. Well, they put their name in the question. Hey, my name is Taylor. I work for. Oh, never mind. That is a.
Redacted.
That is a somebody reaching out for a sponsorship with me. So that is not.
Oh, fucking Jedi. Oh, you're so popular.
I'm not.
Big
It's like,
sponsors coming out.
It's one of those ones that's all like, I think based on your content, we'd be perfect for working with each other. And I'm like, if you watch my content, you'd know I'm already sponsored by G Fuel. So
Dude,
you would have mentioned that in the
I
email.
swear they're bot messages, bro.
They must be.
They message me sometimes like, "Hello, threat level MiDNiTE," and I'm like, really? At least fucking put my name, Ashley. Come on.
Oh my god, I love it.
Hello,
Okay.
Optic MiDNiTE.
Can we have another one? Okay.
Yeah.
Dear MiDNiTE and Jedi. So this is from RR. I'm sure this is a question you get a lot. I'm so torn. For the past 2 years, I don't think we've gotten this one specifically. We've gotten stuff like this, but
Oh, okay.
for the past 2 years or so, all I've wanted to do is pursue playing professional Call of Duty and content creation, Twitch/YouTube. I'm already 22 years old. People say follow your dreams or you will not be happy, but mine seems too far fetched. Reality of it is I have bills to pay, car, insurance, phones, student loans. Been there. And I have to work to pay them. I'm still currently in school, and that takes up my time as well. As badly as I want to pursue my dream, I'm too scared to make the jump. I would need to invest a lot of money into it, and I do not have a lot to spare. I feel like even if I hit the grind hard, it would probably take me 2 to 3 years minimum to make it to a decent spot if I get lucky. I really do not think I can afford to do that with my bills. And as for Pro COD, I would be entering the scene very late at that point, even if I did make it, which all makes it seem like it's just not worth it again. I know people say pursue what makes you happy, but I have a girlfriend I want to propose to, and probably in the next 2 years, and I need to think about a ring, house, and savings for our future family. From a realist standpoint, what do you think I should do given my circumstance? I'm gonna say based on this, you haven't actually started yet. So this is something you
Yeah.
ideally want to do, but you haven't started yet. From professionals, I'm not obviously not a pro player. Neither is Ashley, but she has probably more experience in that realm. But
Yeah.
COD is about the franchise itself. This is a very difficult time to get into Call
Yeah,
of
because
Duty,
they're about to
unfortunately.
franchise the teams, and for
So they're going to be
instance, I
going for
mean,
the names.
for instance, you have currently the biggest shakeup in the pro scene though, because pros
True.
that who have been in for years didn't make the league, and these new
Yeah.
people, although
Yeah. This was a good
the
year.
mid like and here's a perfect example of how it can go wrong for you even if you
MiDNiTE
do all
Gaming.
the right stuff. Yeah, MiDNiTE Gaming, like these young kids
Mm-hmm.
that play for this team, they get this league spot. MiDNiTE Gaming wipes the roster of the people who got them there and picks up
And
old
put
pros.
names
Yeah, for their
to have the
franchise.
names for the
Right.
franchise in
who,
preparation for the franchise.
who are still good players, but maybe like, it
They
just,
weren't as good as the players that got wiped.
yeah, because they got beat by them, right? So
Yeah, exactly.
it's like it's really hard because people even, like, not to make this about myself, but people ask me all the time, why don't you go pro? It's like, do you have any idea how hard it is? Like, you have to
You have to
play
want it.
so much. You have to be good. You
You
have
have
to
to
play
live
so
it.
much. You have to kind of get like a name for yourself. You can do that by starting
Yeah.
to win tournaments. You start playing with better
Yep.
people, better people, better people. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not impossible to come up. So I don't want to say that it's
No.
impossible, but it is. You're going against a lot of odds, and you're doing that when you're trying to become a professional in literally any sport or esport
Yeah.
or hobby, right?
Yeah. And I feel like there's a with content creation, at least, because I feel like I can, because I was kind of in your position in the sense that like I was just finishing school when I decided I was going to start making YouTube videos again. But and like I didn't have much in the way of student loans. Like I'd done a really good job because I worked the entire time I was in school. I was able to pay a lot of it myself. So I
Yeah.
knew I was kind of in a position, and I ended up paying my student loans off in like a year. But it was just kind of like one of those things that like what I was doing was probably stupid to a lot of people outside, but it's just like every couple months I would just get some kind of milestone that made it worth it to like keep going.
Yeah.
And then eventually it was like, I'd started making actual money. So then it was like I'm going on actual trips. And then I think my parents were finally like, okay, this is actually a potential when I got sent to my first event to do videography for like Super Smash Brothers. So my mom was like, okay, this is actually like a thing. I don't know what it is, but it's at least something that like she's getting paid to
It's
go
like
do this, and
tangible.
it's tangible. There's something there. And I've heard different advice from different people. Like I have a friend who did the whole like I lived on my friend's couch while I was working for Vice, and I moved away from home, and I put everything on the line for like when Occupy Wall Street happened. And it's like, yeah, some people can do that, but there's also like this mix of like realism, because like sometimes if you haven't even put your toe in, you don't even know if you like it. So
Yeah.
like
It's
that's the other thing.
You have to
Because I
play
do,
so much, dude.
yeah. Like especially if you're because you're trying to come at it from every point of view right now. You want to be the pro player and you want to do content creation in YouTube. That's the hardest thing to do right now if you weren't
Yeah.
already doing it, because you have to both be so good at the game that they can't deny you as an amateur, and then you're trying to make content. So unless you're paying someone to maybe make highlights for you, or paying somebody else to do your content, which if you're not making money, like I wouldn't feel justified paying someone to make stream highlights for me, and I do make money doing this. So like, would you want to invest in having somebody else make that content for you? Because I truly don't believe that you would have time for it while you're in school, while you're trying to work a job to pay off your bills, while you have a girlfriend.
Yeah,
So
I mean, you have to pick one thing and like really dedicate yourself to it. Like, show up to these open events. There's amateur brackets. Like, see how you do in them. Find
yeah.
people to play with. You can get your name out there from doing that, because
Yep.
people, like, no matter what, they're going to recognize like good players. Right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And it might be good to figure out what's going to work better for you. Like maybe you are a better content creator than you are a player.
yeah, I wouldn't try to do both. Like, if you're trying to
Yeah.
kill it at an open bracket event, I wouldn't be
You got to
vlogging.
focus on one.
Yeah.
Yeah, not vlogging. Like you might be able to get away with streaming because you stream what you're doing.
Yeah.
And as long as they know that they're there for gameplay, and you can get away with that. And then that could be your content creation side of it. And then you could work on building yourself a name on Twitter and stuff.
I feel like
But
if
you have to focus on competing.
yeah, it depends on what your like real dream is. Like, you could still be like a pro gamer in a lot of people's eyes and not be a pro at all. Like my grandma thinks I'm a pro gamer. Like,
there you go.
Like,
yeah.
if you're good at like, let's say you're really good at search and destroy. You play S&D tourneys, you're good.
Yeah, you could be an S&D
stream
star.
that. Like, stream that. or whatever you're good at. Stream that.
Yeah.
If you really want to do content and still be good, stream that. Make it.
Yeah.
Set yourself apart with your gameplay and try to, do your
Yeah,
best
come
at
up
it.
with
But
something. It's everybody says it, but try to come up with something that other people aren't doing or at least haven't done. Try to come up with your own flair to it, something that you can do. Like I'm kind of like I'm a big proponent of the like do what you got to do to pay the bills, even if it's not the most like luxurious job, and then dabble, like stick your like do what you can do, like pursue the passion. And then if you're lucky, the passions will start overweighing where you're doing, and then you might get to a point where you're like, I gotta take a chance. I'm either just gonna like jump all into this now because I feel like I've got at least a foundation where I can justify it, or I'm just gonna keep kind of like juggling both.
Yeah,
because that's honestly kind of a personal thing I'm dealing with right now. I don't know if I should just be like IMCA.
I mean, I did eventually when I knew, like when I was sitting at work and I knew that I could be doing in those same amount of hours this much work for myself and my brand and my stream and my videos. Like
that's kind of where I'm at.
That's when I was like, okay. And then I started making like enough money to where it was like, okay, yeah, I can support myself. So
yeah,
boom, good luck, bro.
Yeah.
Like
good luck.
No matter
it's
what,
tough.
follow what you want to do.
I believe
don't
that
put
you
expectations on it.
Yeah, I believe that no matter what you do in life, you should at least pursue passions to an extent. I'm not saying that like because like it's always this mix up because I see some people being like, I dropped everything and try to be a pro player and now my life's destroyed, or I dropped everything to try to be a streamer and now my life is ruined. And it's like, you got to be smart about it too. You can't just jump in and just do a lot of work if you're not working smart and no one knows you're doing anything. You've got to like put the work in the different areas and kind of figure out what you're doing.
Got to take care of yourself too.
You got to take care of yourself. So yeah, that's the gist of that. Make sure that you're at least focusing on some kind of passion all the time, and it'll just make your life better in general. And if you're lucky, it might pan out.
Yeah.
And just do as much as you can in the competing scene.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to try to do. And just get to it like right now. Just get to it.
Follow your heart.
Follow your heart. I think we got one more question. We got one more advice question
of the day.
Let's see. First off, big shout out to the dynamic duos. Glad you two are back in action. What the frick? So this is we both know this person. I don't know if he wants us to know.
Yeah, just put them anonymous unless they say their name, I think.
Yeah, word. Okay, so I haven't been to a TwitchCon event in 3 years, and I'm thinking about going by myself. My question is, what's the best way to kill that awkward first impression when meeting a streamer? Asking for a friend. P.S. Fortune favors the bold. That's one of my favorite quotes. I love it.
Dude, this is who first? Who goes first here?
This is mixed. Well, I feel like people are probably more awkward around you, be a bigger deal than I am.
Oh yeah, I've had people. Okay, so I've had people be very awkward in front of me. And I don't ever fault them for it because everybody has different experiences and degrees that they enjoy social interaction, right? So
yeah, I'm pretty sure
different.
The first time I said something to Hector, I was like, holy shit, why did I say that? You were there. And you're like, no, he knew it was a joke. And I'm like, I don't think he knew it was a joke. Wait, what did you
say again? Do you remember?
I don't know if I can say it.
What do you mean?
I was a joke. Because it was the time that Hitch was getting me to do videography. And I was like, yeah, I just have a bunch of shots of Scump's mom and someone else, and he was like, you can't put that in the video.
Shit.
Did he give you the rundown? And I was like,
oh no, Jedi, I just lost your audio. Oh, you're back.
I'm back?
Oh, you're back.
It's like it knew that it didn't want me to say
it. Dude, that's no, I don't believe you. You did
it wasn't that bad.
Shit.
No, it's just I said it was a joke. I just jokingly was like, oh yeah, he was like getting good footage, and I was like, yeah, just tons of shots of like Scump's mom looking really excited, and like Scump's mom and the other girl, somebody else. So I was. And he was like, oh yeah, we can't use any of that. Like, did he give you the rundown? I mean, I'm like, he hadn't, but I was like, I knew like they could be in like some of the larger group shots, but I wasn't like, literally did not have like, it's not like I was sitting like this, like right in front of somebody's mom. Like,
I think he just wanted you to know so that you didn't waste your time getting stuff they couldn't use. But
for sure. But then I was like, oh
fuck my first impression. To answer your question though, try to get as much social experience as you can if you want to put yourself out there at like a convention. And a tip for meeting like a streamer or someone that you're nervous to meet is to just try to take everything out of that and like speak to them as a person instead of like an entity or someone who's on a pedestal, because I feel extremely awkward whenever people are like, oh my god, you're the fucking greatest, blah blah blah. Like I've had people shake and like cry, and
Yeah.
I'm like literally, and like I'm like, dude, I'm literally like not this cool. Like
Yeah,
please.
I've never had that happen.
And
I've witnessed it happen.
yeah, and like I just talk to them like you're talking to like your neighbor or like a
Yeah.
acquaintance or a friend. Like
Yeah.
strike up a normal conversation if you can. If you say, hey, like Jedi, yo, what's up? Let's get a picture. Like, try to maybe have some type of other conversational piece. Don't. But on the flip side, I've
On
had
the flip side,
people who talk to
overdo it.
me. Yes, and they won't stop talking, and I
Yeah.
can't get out. The worst is when they catch me when I'm by myself, and I've
Yeah.
gotten better at just saying, "Hey, man, like I'm on my way to this, and I have to be there right now. I'm so sorry. This is great to meet you." But like I've had
Yeah.
experiences also where like they tell me their whole life story, and I do not know what to say.
I know.
So
Sometimes it's like a nervous tick, and I know they don't want to be talking as much as they're
yeah,
talking, but they do. But sometimes they do.
yeah.
Like I've seen some people talk to you. I like somebody actually used knowing it to time, and I didn't realize it was happening until it was happening, and I was like, "What are you doing, man?" Because it was like somebody that I casually knew from online, and he broached the conversation with me, and then was like, "Oh my god, hello, MiDNiTE,"
Yeah.
and I was like,
You were the
"That's
bridge.
I was,
You were
I ain't
just the
no
you
bridge.
were just the fucking bridge, dude. I've had
I'm
that
the
before too,
main
though.
event." No,
I've had,
yeah, no, it's
I've had that before too. I think like
I imagine.
I don't know. I just think treat it like a normal conversation with a friend if you can. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not saying don't tell them like stuff that's been impactful for you. I don't want to sound like a bitch when I'm saying, "Oh,
No,
they won't
'cause
stop telling me their life story because they want to meet me."
yeah,
Oh, I just
no,
mean
but it's
like
yeah.
understand like that if you want an actual conversation happening, you can't just like unload on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like it's great to know if somebody was all like, "Yo," like every once in a while somebody would be like, "Hey, through time and like watching your videos or watching your streams has been like really helpful to me," and like that means the world. That
Oh
is
yeah.
awesome to hear. But it's like sometimes people will go on and they will make fun of the people around you asking for pictures, but then ask for something even more ridiculous. And I'm like, my dude, you just asked for the worst thing of all. I'll take pictures all damn day, and I don't want to do a damn thing you just mentioned. Like,
Yeah.
I don't mean it wasn't like anything weird. It was just kind of like, no,
Yeah. They try to get you to do stuff. I don't
yeah,
know.
it's a mixed thing.
95% of my interactions are always great.
Yeah, just
Usually,
say hi. Like,
yeah.
say hi. Don't be the person that like after the event you're like, yeah, I saw you like 3 times, but I was too nervous to say hi because that
Oh
makes me feel
yeah.
bad.
That makes me
That makes
sad
me feel
too.
bad.
I'm
Do
like,
you know
dude.
Mig was in front of me at Pet Cemetery and he didn't say hi. And but
No.
then I felt bad because he told me he
Treason.
was gonna be there, and then
Oh.
I noticed that this person because he
Wait,
was
you
being really
saw him?
polite. Yeah, because he was being specifically like I remember there was a huge group of them. And they sat down, but all the girls sat in front of me, and I looked at Jen and I was like, "This is the ideal situation." And then he wanted to move over to be closer to his kids, and then he was kind of not right in front of me, but was off to the side. He was like, "Hey kids, how about we switch so I'm not blocking this person's line of sight?" And I was like, "No, no, you're good. I can actually see perfectly. It's totally fine."
No, you like
But it
you
was him. So
deep
we
down
talked.
you knew, but you didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know until later that night. He was like, "Hey, sorry, I was awkward and I didn't say hi. I just didn't want to like intrude on your night." And I was like, "Oh my god, you were right in front of me."
Ah, I
And I
wish you
felt
guys would
bad.
have said
Yeah,
hi. Another time. You
yeah.
guys will run into each
Another
other another
time.
time and
Yeah,
it'll be all good.
exactly. But either way, like people will do stuff like that, and I get that some people are just really nervous and they don't want to say
Yeah.
hi. But like, don't like just always be like, yeah, I've seen you like at 3 different events, and I'm like, I am not that big a deal. Please, it means more to me at the stage I'm at. It means so much more to me for you to come say hi to me than it does to you. Like if somebody comes up and asks me for a picture, I'm like, yes, thank you so much for wanting this. Like that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
But there's also a mix that sometimes people try to get like almost too familiar. And I don't know if you have this happen where people try to like they say hi to you and then they try to like you. Because sometimes I'm okay hanging out with people that I know or have met online, but sometimes I'm like I'm just trying to kind of have a private conversation with people that I don't get to talk to a lot, but I talk to you almost every day
Yeah.
in like an other setting type thing,
I
like over
usually
TwitchCon. Yeah,
I'm pretty good about like saying, "Hey, I got to go here with this person. Goodbye." Because sometimes
yeah,
people that I don't know or like that I know from my
yeah.
stream like and this hasn't happened in a long time. I'm hoping
No,
that like anyone that I met recently isn't like, "Oh my god, did I do that?" Like it's
no,
nobody
no,
that I like know
nothing's
well. But I've had
no.
people like I can tell when they're following me or
Mm-mm.
loitering around the group that I'm with, and I'm just like,
Yeah,
I can see that you're following me.
yeah,
Like, it's
yeah,
weird.
and
Please
it's like
stop. Have you ever had
yeah.
somebody trap you? Like they see you go to the bathroom and then they wait for you outside the door, or they see you go to they knew what hotel I was in, so they waited for me at the elevator.
Thankfully, I've seen that in the process of happening.
Don't like that.
No, that's not cool. And that one's kind of tough at certain events because there's certain events where everybody hangs out at the same spots and they know that that's where they hang out. Like there's one event that happens in a hotel lobby and that's where everybody hangs out. So that's where they wait for them to come out. So that can be a little bit awkward, but I don't think I haven't been trapped, but I'm usually like, sometimes I'm just lucky enough to be in groups where everybody else is more desirable than I am, so I almost get to float by.
Yeah, you hang out with me a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And like, that's the thing. Like, I hang around people that are more important than me in that regard.
Don't say that. That's fucked, man. I'm not more important than you.
Okay, not more important, but like that people would notice first.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, you're at a Call of Duty event. You're wearing an Optic jersey. Who do you care about more?
True.
You care about the Optic members. So like that just makes sense. But I don't know. Sometimes people do just kind of play the and I feel bad because it's like people that I would totally like to hang out with and would totally chill with, but there's just certain times that they seem to catch me when I'm like, I'm trying to like talk to people that I never get to talk to.
Yeah, so like, valid.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm not trying to be a dick, but like I just want to have conversations with people that are like either too their own shit all the time, so that I don't get to talk to them, and like they either like I don't have time to go to their streams, they don't have time to come to my streams, or they don't stream, and I just get to talk. Like these events are when I get to talk to these people.
Yeah.
So like I don't like yeah, exactly. So like I would love to talk to you in certain situations, but like if I'm in the middle of a conversation, like don't hang out the outskirt of the conversation, I guess would be the thing.
Yeah. Don't be that. You never want to be that guy, dude.
Like do a round, do a circle, like just kind of do the rounds. Like if somebody's having a conversation, just do the rounds.
Yeah, go somewhere.
Do the rounds and come back around, and maybe like the conversation will be done, and then you can be like, hey.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, yeah, what's up?
Don't be, if you can help it, which I know is hard because even I get nervous in some social situations.
Yes,
if you can help
absolutely.
it, try to not be nervous and just treat it as a normal conversation with a friend or somebody that you know.
Because I love meeting people.
Yeah, same.
And I think that's pretty obvious. Like if anybody's taking a picture with me, I'm always like, oh yeah, what up?
No, I feel weird because like sometimes they only ask me for a picture or a signature, and I try to like have some sort of mini conversation with everybody.
I'm always like, yo, what's your at? And like when they just want to, then they dip. They're just like picture and dip.
Yeah, they're like pick and dip, and I'm just like, yeah, how you doing though?
Maybe they're doing it because they don't want to be.
Yeah, maybe they don't want to be that guy. They're trying not to be that guy or girl.
I usually try to do like a little thing. Like I had that actually at some. I'd run directors and I didn't want to bother them while they were working. And I'd be like, yo, I just want to. Really loved your movie. It was really fantastic. Loved watching the Q&A. Keep doing what you're doing. Later.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, that's perfect. Like, you get your, like, really love your work. By the way, you're cool. Okay, bye. Like.
Exactly. You feel like you've talked to somebody, you haven't wasted their time, and then you weren't, like, weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because no one wants to be weird. But honestly, based on who this person is that sent the message, you're going to be fine, man. Just say hi. You'll be good. You'll be good. Both of us would be happy to say hi to you. Is all I'm gonna say.
Go in as comfortable as possible.
Yeah,
it's
cool.
Yourself.
It's really not that.
Like I said at the beginning, let's bring this full motherfucking circle. Like I said at the beginning, man, don't waste good experiences feeling anxious if you can help it. Okay?
Exactly. Just enjoy it. Like you're there for TwitchCon. Like enjoy the event. Go see all the different booths. Try out all the new stuff. Go visit the G Fuel people. Use code Jedi to get 10% off your purchases.
Yeah, go to the Scuff booth. Use code MiDNiTE. Do that.
There you go. There's like the art tables and stuff, and like you'll never know. Go to like there's a bunch of different events that they do at TwitchCon, so you'll never know who you'll meet that you didn't know before.
TwitchCon, you cannot get bored there. I've never been, but like there's a lot.
Yeah, you can't get bored there. I've never been, but
I just see there's a lot of shit.
Call of Duty events, oddly enough. Really? I don't know why. Yeah, I think the crowd just suits me better. I think it's just I'm of the community.
The nerd sweats.
I feel like I'm of the community. No, the nerd sweats are at fighting events. Oh my god. Call of Duty's fine. Everybody smells fine at Call of Duty events.
Touche.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Just have fun. Just enjoy it. Don't get like caught up trying to meet people so that you don't enjoy your time while you're there.
Yeah, exactly. Play cool.
Yeah. Play cool.
Stay in school. Episode number 52.
For you,
AKA
which
45.
Yeah, it's 45 right 45. Now. We're episode
40. AK 52. It's a good spot.
This is a good spot.
Damn, we're at 1, 2, 3 minutes. I better cut it.
I can't cut it.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. No, you don't have to go. All right.
Yeah, no.
Thank you so much for listening. We are on SoundCloud. I should have said this at the beginning. God dang it. We're on SoundCloud. We're on iTunes. We're on YouTube. Follow the links in the description. Subscribe to Amanda the Jedi. Follow her on Twitter. Subscribe to me on Twitch with Twitch Prime. Maybe. Put your life in my hands. Just kidding. Okay, I'm cutting it. Bye.